Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Thursday evening to you all. Hope you guys are doing well tonight and, more importantly, staying safe out there. It's been a pretty active day in the weather world. Portions of eastern Kentucky have seen catastrophic flooding. I think the last news I heard, there was 2 deaths so far. So, thoughts and prayers out for the entire area. Kentucky has been hit very hard I would say this year, but really stretching all the way back from the tornadoes that slammed the western part of the state back in mid-December of 2021, and now we have the catastrophic flooding ongoing in eastern Kentucky. Being in South Carolina, I know all too well about the big flooding events from what we saw here in 2015, here in October, with a big flooding event that occurred here locally here in South Carolina, where I'm located. So you guys are in my prayers, and I'm sure you're in a lot of other people's prayers also. So we're all thinking about you. It looks like a lot of people have lost their homes. And it's just pretty much entire towns underwater, and these little valley towns in eastern Kentucky just been slammed with several inches of rain. And honestly, when I was making the video this morning, I did not realize the severity of the event that was ongoing while I was making the video, and actually did not realize it until about an hour after I dropped the video. And I got to work a couple minutes early and was kind of scrolling through Twitter. And it was just like, wow, this is a big event. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the flooding event, not really what's happened so far, but we're going to talk about how much more rain can we see over the next, I would say, 24, 48 hours. So we're going to break that down. So if you're in Kentucky listening, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, definitely stay tuned. We're going to try to figure out how much more rain y'all can get, because I am expecting a round of storms to move through these areas maybe a little bit later tonight. So subscribe if you haven't, like the video if you like it, and if you guys got anything that I can pray about. Of course, we're praying over Kentucky. Please put it in the comments below. Let's get rolling here. So we know the excessive rainfall outlook. This is pretty much the same one from this morning. This stretches all the way to tomorrow morning. You still got the moderate risk. And, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, if the models were really showing a ton of moisture for eastern Kentucky. I would not be surprised if this was a high risk for flash flooding. But right now, you got a moderate risk, which is at least a 40% chance of flash flood guidance being met. And let's hope it just isn't as much rain tonight as what happened in the wee hours of the morning, this morning, overnight into this morning. So what could potentially unfold? First off, I want to show you this really quick. This is how much rain fell between let's say 8 a.m. This would be Tuesday morning, all the way through 8 a.m. this morning. I know you're thinking, what about the rain that fell during the day? Not really a lot of rain fell during the day for these areas. It was all that kind of fell pre the 8 a.m. hours and the wee hours of the morning. The rain really hit these hard. I talked about it in the video this morning, and I showed it on radar scope and these training waves of rain and storms. But man, it really started to just be a big time nasty effect of these areas once they started picking up a lot of rain very quickly into the wee hours of the morning this morning. And sure enough, around hazard points west got almost a foot of rain. That is not good for these mountainous and hilly areas right into here in eastern Kentucky. You got a lot of little small communities or in these little valley towns, and then these rivers flood, and the river levels rise, and basically it just overflows, and basically these little valleys turn into rivers for these small towns in Kentucky. There's a lot of incredible footage out in this region, and just awful footage at the same time, but it really just captures the severity of what's happening in eastern Kentucky, where several inches of rain has fell. So we're hoping not as much rain falls tonight, but there's still flash flood watches out. So you got flood warnings in the green, where you just still got the ongoing flooding of the rivers that are still going on. And then you got the flash flood, like I said, watches up in the dark green. And then you got flood warnings, flash flood warnings up for, a couple counties now east of St. Louis. But St. Louis was getting hit hard a little earlier. In fact, this little plume of showers and storms moved through St. Louis and caused more flooding. You guys saw flooding earlier this week. You just saw more this evening. And hopefully you guys are I know you're probably not drying up, but hopefully any kind of flooded parking lots and flooded areas in St. Louis is starting to go back down. But man, this stalled boundary has really plagued the weather this week. It really has. And just, really in this area, just showers and storms continue to fire up over these same regions, and it was just bound to catch up with us, and it really did. So let's take a look at the latest HRRR model. Let's start this off around 8 p.m. So I'll mention, you look at this, we compare it, and you can pretty much say it's 8 p.m. or 10 minutes to 8 p.m. Eastern time here where I live here in South Carolina. But let's take a look at the radar out of Louisville, Kentucky. So let's take a look at that and what it's looking like. In fact, you got a severe storm just southwest of Louisville, but this is what we worry about. You get the little cursor on. You see how these storms, you see how there's storms right here. There's heavier rain right here, heavier rain right here. So then you watch out for communities like Lexington, Kentucky, for example, here in the next hour or two, where these showers and storms and heavy downpours, not only just showers and storms, severe storms in certain cases, continue to kind of move at more of a west to east kind of directional movement. So they're moving over these same areas over and over again. This is when you pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain very quickly. And then another thing we watch out for, and remember, this is where all the flooding has occurred overnight, right into here. These areas of Kentucky, right into here. So we got to watch how much will this fill in overnight. Well, here in the next few hours. If this fills in, then it's going to head towards eastern Kentucky in the coming hours. And then that's what we need to watch out for, because and let's just zoom out a little bit, because if this begins to fill in a little bit more right into here, this is the areas that got hit hard by flooding. And if this starts to move in and more showers and storms kind of congeal together to the south, then it's going to be bad. Again, I'm not comparing it to what happened this morning, but we're going to have issues like we did this morning in these areas. So we'll watch to see if this area right into here kind of consolidates and becomes more widespread heavy rain. If it's just kind of like what it is right now, where you just got a hit or miss shower, you got some heavy rain, for example, moving through Bowling Green, then maybe it won't be as widespread. But this is what the HRRR model is showing. It's doing good picking up on this storm near Bowling Green and this kind of massive rain, but these models aren't going to be perfect. But we'll keep this moving through. If you look at the HRRR model, it does show more rain moving into London, Hazard, Pikeville, and south of Jackson. But how much does this hold together? If you look at the HRRR model, by the time you get into about 10 to 11 p.m. around midnight, it just looks like some light to moderate rain, nothing too crazy. But then we watch this cluster of storms around 1, 2 a.m. How much does this hold together? As we're starting to get into the wee hours of the morning, late tonight, I'm talking, 2, 3, 4 o'clock this morning, how much rain is actually falling compared to what the model's showing. If you look at the NAM and what the NAM is showing, and we're going to fast forward to this to about, this is around 10 p.m. This is around 8 p.m. The NAM's not doing that great of a job showing this moisture right here near Bowling Green, Kentucky. But the NAM likes to kind of just skip this entire area right here in eastern Kentucky pretty well. But eventually, you guys might get hit tomorrow morning around early to mid-morning. Some more showers and storms move through the area, so we watch out for that. So the NAM and the HRRR model is certainly different. But if you look at the National Weather Service the National Weather Service showing how much rain could potentially fall in these areas between now and Saturday morning, it looks like the heaviest rain as this frontal boundary kind of sags south is more so in Tennessee. So more of this heavier rain will fall in Tennessee, but it still shows isolated areas from a ½ inch to as much as 1.5 inches in areas of Kentucky. This includes areas of eastern Kentucky. And, depending on how quick you get 1 inch of rain in these areas in Kentucky, if you get it really quick, it could spell trouble. If you get it over the course of maybe 6 hours, I don't think it'll be as big of a deal. But this area is very sensitive right now. It's just an area we need to watch out for, so it really is. But moving forward, like I said, flash flood watches up, so we need to be careful. So I just want to talk briefly on Kentucky because, the situation could go downhill again tonight. So when you're settling in, if you're happy that you weren't affected, please just be aware of the weather tonight in areas of Kentucky, as there's more storms on the kind of to your west that could drift into the eastern parts of the state. So I want to mention this before we go on and get off here. The 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, guys, it looks like it's going to continue to be very warm. This is from the 3rd of August to the 7th. Well above average temperatures expected for the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and above average temperatures anywhere from the central U.S. all the way through the eastern U.S. And this carries on through the 8 to 14 day outlook. This almost takes us all the way to mid-August. So the relentless summer continues. It continues to be very hot. No changes in the tropics today. They did drop an outlook today that kind of symbolizes that, hey, it's going to be slow for the hurricane season, getting all the way into about mid-August, and then they're expecting a rapid uptick of tropical development. But we'll see if that actually comes to friction here in the next few weeks. So that's all I got, guys. Stay safe if you're out there in Kentucky. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you. And definitely you're in our thoughts and prayers. God bless all y'all.